Wife cheated on me and I kicked her out. Now, when I'm in my best shape with a lovely girlfriend, she showed up and begging for forgiveness 'cause she was hit by karma and thrown up by her AP? Part 2. Update. So that's what occurred. When I uncovered the EA, stopped things and witnessed her move on with AP within a week, I, 37 male, informed her 36 female that this would happen 6 months ago. I informed her that she had been monkey branching her whole life, and that it would ultimately come up with her. She said that she had never been happy in her life. I told her the issue was her inability to love herself, that she needed to be alone to work on it, that another person could never fill that need, and that a fair fog never made anybody happy in the long term. I informed her that she had chartered a runaway train to crash and burn town. She nodded to everything. She claimed to have comprehended everything. Monkey, on the other hand, branched to AP, and karma finally caught up with her this week. My birthday was on Wednesday, and she contacted me the next day. AP and I broke up as a late birthday gift. I saw her for the first time since that text today, and she's as shattered as I was on my darkest days. I've gone through all of the phases that the most of us here have gone through. I put my hatred and bitterness behind me a long time ago. I've forgiven her for my own sake, not for hers. I'm happy than ever, in better shape than ever, and completely smitten with a new lady, still new, whom I'm simply enjoying greatly for the time being, with no expectations for the future. There was only one thing holding me back: the idea that AP was going to be a part of my life and was about to be introduced to our children. I couldn't get that knowledge out of my head, no matter how hard I tried. Now that he's gone, I feel like this chapter is finally coming to an end. For reference, I grew up with her and have been best friends for 23 years. It took a long time to mend, but as a friend, I still adore her and wish her nothing but the best. I couldn't wait for karma to come around for the first several months. That day had come. We spent it together as a family, something we always kept doing in a healthy way. And here I am, a happier and better guy than I was before. She couldn't have been in worse condition. She spent the whole day running upstairs because she couldn't stop weeping and didn't want the kids to see. I hugged her a lot, listened while she repeated screaming she wrecked her life, and how she now saw what I told her months ago. How she wants to change but is frightened she isn't strong enough, that she won't be able to bear the level of suffering she is experiencing. I understand that agony like no one else, the only difference being that she was the one who put me through it. And now, half a year later, I'm doing my best to console the lady who has deeply injured me. Karma arrived precisely as I had hoped it would 6 months ago. I want her anguish to end after only one day. I don't want to watch my closest buddy suffer in this way. Yes, I see the irony in it all. She made the decision to stop seeing AP on her own for no apparent reason. She never even hinted or tested the waters with me about getting back together, which I'm happy she didn't, since I would have shot that down right away. She has no one else lined up. She chose to be alone for the first time in her life. Those things make me believe she will eventually change and face her demons. I'll say it again. I have no intention of ever seeing this lady again, even if she changes. I have no intention of letting her breakdown affect me or my own transformation in any way. I do, however, want to maintain as close and friendly a connection as a fractured family may have in a healthy manner. I used to like reading karma tales. For those of you who are still waiting for karma to arrive, don't worry, it will. I, for one, hope it didn't. It's painful to watch my dearest buddy in this all too familiar dark place. Even though she was the one who placed me there months ago, I was victorious in every conceivable manner. Unfortunately for me, our team lost. Update. That didn't take long at all. I figured some of you would be interested in reading an update to my narrative. It doesn't have the joyful ending I was looking for, but it simply goes to show that clichés exist for a purpose. No matter how much we wish and persuade ourselves that our situation is different or our WS is the one that is different, statistics are very difficult to overcome. I saw she soon returned to her regular self in the week after her breakdown. I expected to see her devastated for weeks or months, facing her own demons on her way to true transformation. Seeing how swiftly she returned to normalcy made it clear to me that she wasn't going to fight that battle. I chose not to pursue the issue since I can't assist somebody who doesn't want to improve herself, and furthermore, I have my own life to live. A week after my ex's breakdown, I went away for the weekend with the lady I'm seeing, and it was one of the most fantastic weekends I've ever had. I returned on the final night and had some family commitments with my ex and our children, and that old gut sensation kicked in once again. When I inquired whether she went back to her AP, she said yes. She informed me she was aware of my dissatisfaction with her. I told her I wasn't because I anticipated it to happen, and it wasn't my concern. I told her I wasn't sad for her, but I was sorry for the person she might have been if she had followed through on truly dealing with her problems. I now feel that person will never exist again. This was her chance to change, and she didn't even survive a week. It wasn't a big chat by any means, and I wasn't upset or anything. I was just disappointed that the mother of my children didn't take advantage of this chance to change and become a healthy, happy person for the first time in her life. Regarding the karma, it arrived in a more pleasant form than the week before. This evening, she inquired about my weekend. I told her in broad strokes that I had a great time, but that it was strange to get into depth given she was my ex and everything. When she informed me I didn't have to tell her anything, she smiled at me. When I asked her why, she told me, "I've known you for more than 2 decades, and I can see your expression when you speak about her. I've never seen your face light up like this with anybody else. It's obvious how pleased you are. I'm aware of how she makes you feel." She isn't the first person to tell me this, but hearing it from the person who knows me best, after all that has occurred, made me feel very good about where I am in life right now and how I have handled things up to this point. For those of you who are concerned that my new relationship would suffer as a result of how involved I am completely honest with my new lady. After what occurred last week, I told her that I genuinely wanted to assist my ex as a friend through this, since I thought that as she changed for the better, it might have a major beneficial influence on our kids. I regarded this as a significant chance for my ex to change. Now that she's opted not to accept it, I'll take a step back and return our relationship to friendly co-parenting. It's completely out of my hands now, and I'm okay with that. Finally, this entire incident inspired me to conceive of a metaphor. Many of us who have been deceived are thrust into the dark and have no option but to proceed. We don't see it at first, but there is a brilliant light at the end of that long path that we ultimately arrive at, and we emerge as better, more attentive individuals. It's a difficult and lengthy journey, but we have no option but to take it. Those who betray do not have to go there, they have a choice. In my ex's situation, she was brave enough to go into the unknown, with no promises that the light at the end would be worth the effort. To travel that journey through sorrow, uncertainty, and darkness, facing oneself at every step, you must be extraordinarily strong. But the problem is, those who have been deceived have the option of just turning around. It's just a few steps back into that hazy zone where there's no total darkness but also no strong light. Those who lack the necessary strength will give up and do the easy thing. They turn around, leaving their demons in the darkness in front of them, and go back into the gray. I feel terrible for the person she may have been if she had continued on her path. Even though I had no option but to take that route, I don't feel sorry for myself. And the light in the end is priceless. If you're still in the dark, take it from me. You'll ultimately come to, and you'll be all the better for it. I mentioned I didn't have a pleasant ending for you because I may have posted this a day too early. I'm going to ask the lady I'm seeing tonight if she wants to make it official and become a couple. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Everyone stay strong. Update. Actually know this new person and know he's more than just a buddy. My youngest 4, thankfully, didn't appear to notice anything happening, so I suppose that's a positive. I don't want to leap to conclusions, but even you online strangers know what's going on over there. My main concern is the impact on my children. During my wild and single phase, I never brought anyone home, not even while my children were sleeping. I presented and discussed my partner at least a year after we met, when I was certain I wanted to establish my life and family with her. On the other hand, AP-1 was staying the night and going on family outings a week after Mom and Dad divorced. Now, Before he's even out of the picture, my ex is a monkey brancher, so I'm betting this is an exit affair. #AP2 is spending the night with my kids. I'm completely shaken and don't know what to do. On the one hand, I'm considering talking to my ex about how it may not be in the best interests of the kids to A, cheat in front of them and normalize such behavior, and B, bring a new person over this soon. By the way, it's not even outrageously soon. It's before her other relationship is even over. What's preventing me from doing so is the fact that I know this chat will have little to no impact on my ex. She's been making a shambles of her life from the moment we split up and refuses to listen to anyone's counsel, much alone mine. She still enjoys getting me to respond to her behaviors, so I try to interfere as little as possible. I am a strong believer that as a parent and father, I have control over and am accountable for setting an example and creating a safe haven for my children while they are with me. As much as I would want to, as long as she is not endangering the children, I have no control or say over what she does or with whom she interacts. As a result, I'm leaning toward simply biting my tongue, waiting for the inevitable drama to bubble up and blow over, and focusing on keeping my own home in order. But it's difficult. So, I'm dodging hard. Finally, I'm not interested in informing AP-1. He should have realized what he was getting himself into, and it's not my monkeys or circus. I'm also not going to get involved in what is sure to be a wild night at X's place. For the benefit of my children, isn't it better if Dad stays out of it?